Okay, and our next guest has also been calling for stronger legal responses to deepfakes for almost a decade now. Susie Dunn is the director of the Law and Technology Institute at Dalhousie University, joining us from Halifax. Susie, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Hi, thanks for inviting me.
Can you walk us through what laws exist to protect Canadians from having their photos specifically used in deepfakes, which is, I think we should maybe explain to some who are watching who might not know. It would essentially be a very realistic look at a person's face, but it would not be their body, and it would be completely AI faked, if you will. Yes?
Yeah, so this type of technology can be used to replicate images and videos, audio recordings of people doing things they haven't said or done. And so the laws across Canada really vary. So one area where we do have some protections is around sexual deepfakes specifically. So under our child sexual abuse material laws, which used to be known as child pornography, deepfakes of minors, sexualized deepfakes of minors would be captured underneath that. We've had 2 criminal cases so far where people have pleaded guilty to that crime for creating sexual deepfakes of minors. But for adults, the rules really vary across Canada. So criminal laws right now protect against the distribution of intimate images of an actual person, but 2 recent court cases in Ontario and Nova Scotia have said they don't apply to digital or deepfake images. And then from civil protections, which is when you can go to court and get a court order for a takedown or damages to sue someone, depending on the province that you're in, there's various intimate image statutes. So for example, there isn't one at all in Ontario. There is one in British Columbia. It covers deepfakes very clearly. But here in Nova Scotia, for example, our intimate image protection law, it's not totally clear whether it would cover deepfakes or not.
Oh, okay. So then in the case of this Nova Scotia man, Stephen Lowe, 79 images that he is being charged with here, or rather he has 80 charges in total. I mean, based on what you know, what kind of a sentence can we expect?
The sentence could vary. He's being charged with quite a few criminal offenses. And one of the challenges right now is because deepfakes aren't yet made criminal, they may be through this bill, Bill C-16, he's being charged under a variety of other criminal offenses. So uttering threats, criminal harassment, obscenity, which is a criminal offense against material that's both sexual and violent. So depending on whether he pleads guilty or goes through the criminal justice system, his sentence will vary depending on what's determined to fit the charges that he's been charged with.
Given what you're describing here in terms of a sort of a patchwork of laws across the country that do, in some cases, don't apply to what we're calling deep fakes of sexual images here, I assume what needs to happen is that it all needs to be brought in line with federal legislation. What would you ideally like to see?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because there's multiple layers of the way that the law can intervene. So there's the layer of individual harm. So this is criminal law and civil law. So all provinces could update their intimate image statutes to include deepfakes. The criminal provision is being altered ideally to include deepfakes. But then if we look at the larger systemic level, looking at the companies that are hosting this type of material, the types of organizations that provide the technology that allows the creation of this type of material, we need regulation in that area as well. The previous online harms bill was going to tackle some of these issues around content moderation, platform moderation, that would require platforms to take this type of content down within 24 or 48 hours. And so there's multiple layers of protection that we need across various areas of law.
Susie, given your role as director of the law and technology, pardon me, I want to make sure I get the title correctly, Law and Technology Institute
Sure.
at Dalhousie University, have you ever encountered a woman who has come forward and say, hey, this has happened to me?
Oh, I speak to victims regularly who've had experiences of this, and they have frustration. You know, when they go to the police, sometimes the police say that there's nothing that can be done about it. You know, they hear about other people being protected in one jurisdiction, but then, you know, in the jurisdiction that they're in, they don't have legal rights. And so there's a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration. And I think one of the most upsetting things for victims is right now it seems as though there's a permissiveness of deepfakes. People are being told they're legal, that no one's going to get in trouble for creating this type of content. And so everyone feels like they can be a target of it without any legal recourse.
Thank you. That was Susie Dunn, the director of the Law and Technology Institute at Dalhousie. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.